I am here with Leigh Ann Bingham from East Hall High School. Leigh Ann, how you doing?
Good.
You all right?
I'm good.
Tell me this. Give me some background on the brilliance that is Leigh Ann Bingham.
I have no brilliance. I've been going to classes this summer to work on trying to change some things I was doing in the classroom. So I have no brilliance.
Well, how many years have you been teaching?
This is 26.
26. Okay, so a long time. And did you do anything else before that at all?
No.
You went immediately into teaching?
Yes. The day I graduated from college, Dad said I had to go get a job.
Well, I got to ask this then. How has teaching changed in all those years? That's quite a while.
Yeah, probably the student interest has waned. Kids were, even your lower kids saw the value of education, and I don't feel like kids see that anymore.
Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, parent involvement has changed. I mean, you've always had some challenging parents, but people more or less blame you instead of seeing it as like what I always thought, like the three-legged stool, like it's us, the parents, and the kid. So they don't
Very
really
interesting.
see the value of that.
All right, so can you give us a background of some of the schools you've been at? Because I know, but our audience may not. So give us the background, maybe even where it was.
I started in rural Northeast Georgia, Franklin County. I was there for 10 years. It was mostly middle class, a lot of agriculture.
Okay.
Then I moved on to what was really kind of inner city Brunswick. We served 12 housing projects.
Wow.
So we had a true dichotomy. We had lower income, and then we had affluent island people, like who lived on St. Simon's Sea Island. So that was quite a culture change. And so then I'm here, and so there's another element to here with our strong Latino population. And so I've been in three different, very different situations.
Well, I have a lot of respect for anybody who has been teaching for 26 years because obviously, it's very, very challenging. But I have seen you this year and heard you talk about things that you're doing and trying. And can you kind of expand on that?
I feel like it's just gotten more and more challenging to try to engage students, and so I've really made a concerted effort to kind of read some things this summer and take some classes that may build interest or try to get them to buy in more. And so some of the things I did, I got rid of the traditional desks and I'm doing a table setting. Right now they're still kind of in an alphabetical setting just because I'll probably learn all those names probably by the middle of next week. But then I'm going to, move them around a lot.
Well, just tell me real quickly, I don't mean to interrupt you, but tell me real quickly how that changes. I mean, I know as the students walk in, they get a different feel for the class. So just visually, when they walk in and they see, wait a second, we're in tables, what does that do?
I think their initial thing is, this is going to be social. But I'm much more in the middle of all of it now. You went from like a stand and delivery model in the front of the room and they were all like in rows and then maybe you'd pull the chairs together. I mean, that was, 20 years ago.
Right.
To now they're already in a group and so I've already gotten to know a lot of people. There's stronger personalities, obviously, but then there's, kind of quiet behind the scenes kids.
Yeah.
You can strike up a conversation easier with them. And
what else are you doing?
I'm using technology more. I got tired of fighting the battle of put up the phone, put up the phone, put up the phone, put up the phone. So we're using a traffic light system where the red means no phones today. Yellow is, if you're with permission, and we're kind of transitioning to that, and then green is go, and they can use the technology, but we're using it for educational purposes.
Right.
So we've done a lot of things with that. They love to take pictures, mostly of themselves, but if you can get them to look at the world around them, I've already done an activity where they went outside, weather permitting, and then incorporated that into the characteristics of life.
Okay.
Uploaded into Padlet.
Right.
And then we've also used it on Kahoot. So I think SSR, or Silent Sustained Reading, is on Thursdays. That's a great transition to do a Kahoot pretty much like every Thursday and just kind of build that competition.
Well, I was going to ask you about those two in case you didn't mention it because I think it's very cool what you're doing with Padlet and with Kahoot. And to me, there's no doubt that you're using both of those because they're tech tools, not tech toys. So it's trying to move you forward in what you want the students to know with the standards.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So anything else you'd like to throw out there that you're doing differently? Those are two pretty big ones, though.
Yeah, for me, that's huge. I'm just trying to like really kind of give more attention, I think. I did that years and years ago, and then I think what's happened with just the onset of, test scores and numbers and stuff, I think we lose like the element of the personal relationship at times, and so I've tried to make some, concerted efforts of, I see you're interested in this, and kind of provide something that would allow them to, oh, she really is paying attention. So like the other day when we were taking pictures, I commented to a student that I'd used his as the wallpaper, and so he saw it on my desktop on the projector.
Very
and then
cool.
he was very like, that's not my best effort. So he went back, he fixed the picture, he signed the picture, credits, gave himself his name on the bottom like an artist, emailed me like that, and so wanted it redone. And so, just those little things, because, he's not exactly what I would call enthusiastic about learning, but, I think you've got to find something that, it's hard because there's so many of them, and so very.
And I don't know if you're like me, but just that little moment right there, that little connection, that gives me a jolt. It gets me through a week or another day, and that's what you strive for. And so I'm sure that felt rejuvenating for you.
Well, it was encouraging because he had already kind of tried to, push his limits. Yeah. So that was kind of encouraging.
Well, very cool.
So if you can just reach those 100 others.
That's all we do is try.
Yeah.
All right, so the last question is this, okay? That camera is a first-year teacher. Now, this is so awesome because you've been teaching for 26 years, so hats off to you.
Thank you.
Give one piece of advice that you think is the most important thing for this teacher right there to know. First-year teacher, what would you say?
Stick with it. Find a mentor teacher, somebody that will just encourage you and build you up. I've had so many over the years. Just try to stay with it and just do what you got to do, because you're so enthusiastic when you first come out of college, and that kind of comes and goes with cycles, but just stay with it.
26 years of teaching wisdom right there condensed into that advice. So thank you, Leigh Ann Bingham, for being with me. Appreciate it.